Hello and welcome! Having custom firmware on your Nintendo 3DS is truly an amazing experience, and over the course of making all the guides for my 3DS, I learned a lot of what I can do with the system and the limitations of the homebrew hardware. But what happens if you want to sell your system? Or perhaps want to start making guides for your 3DS and you already have custom firmware on your system? Well, you're going to have to figure out very quickly how to uninstall the custom firmware. And today I'm going to show you how. Right after a message from us at 16-Bit. Today's video is sponsored by us at the 16-Bit store. Organize and display your games and systems with our 3D printed display stands. They are designed and printed by us to fit your games and systems comfortably so they can be displayed beautifully. They're available now at the 16-Bit store, so if you're interested, why not check them out from the links in the description. To uninstall your 3DS mods and hacks and custom firmware, you'll just need to follow this wonderfully written guide on 3dshacks.guide. All the links will be provided below. I'm going to be walking you through my experience going through this guide and explaining the process section by section as best as I can. Now, starting in the first section, all you're actually doing is testing to see if the native 3DS firmware is working and making sure that you are on the latest version of God Mode 9. So, download the latest God Mode 9 software and put it on your Luma payloads folder and replace your God Mode 9 folder. And afterwards, find the 3DS firmware by browsing into this directory and mounting the firmware, launching it. If your system boots to the 3DS home menu, then you can safely uninstall the custom firmware. But before you start section 2 and start uninstalling all the software, you'll first need to reboot your 3DS, as if you don't, you're not going to be able to see all your stuff on your SD card. So reboot your system and go into settings and uninstall every single hack and software that's on it, like homebrew and backed up games. This will also include both 3DS and DSiWare games, as apparently failing to do so will prevent or disable access to the data management menu after uninstalling this custom firmware. So once everything has been uninstalled from your system, power off your 3DS. Now it's time to remove your custom firmware by powering on your 3DS into God Mode 9 mode by pressing the power button and holding start immediately afterwards. Once booted into the menu, press home, then select scripts. Then go into the GM9 Mega Scripts, hacks options, then uninstall hacks. Afterwards, follow the on-screen instructions and wait for the progress bar to finish. When it's done, return to the main menu and exit the GM9 Mega Scripts. Relock your write permissions and reboot your device by pressing start. And now your Nintendo 3DS is back into stock firmware, and it's ready to be used again as just a regular 3DS or sold online. Now, I know not many people will actually need to unmod their 3DS unless you're like me and you forgot to record yourself modding one earlier, but it was actually surprisingly easy for how to remove it. But anyways, thank you ever so much for watching. I hope this video helps. Have yourself a good day, and as always, take care.
And don't forget to vote this Friday for what games you want to see us review for the 16-Bit Viewer Special. The poll will be available on this channel's community tab. Links will be provided below.